This one's going to be interesting. Right. Well, it's got a funny product name too that I find amusing. So let's see how we go. I think this one's going to be 400. I've done these before. So it should be 400. It shouldn't be too hard, I hope. So this one's going to be an interesting one. I haven't seen this particular version before, but it's a funny name. I think it's a funny name. It's just a gimmicky, money-making sort of name. Just about, things get called just about anything, like aeroplane jelly. What has aeroplanes got to do with fucking jelly? Why do they call it aeroplane jelly? That's an example of one of these enigmas I just can't understand. Or maybe I should look it up on Google and see if maybe aeroplane jelly might have been used on aeroplanes, hence the name. But I don't know at this stage. I just know it as aeroplane jelly, and it's a big jelly brand that I don't know if it's made in Australia now, but it used to be made in Australia. It's one of them old Australian icon products, a bit like Vegemite, probably not as big as Vegemite, but like Vegemite. But apparently Vegemite has been brought back to Australia by Bega, and same with Cheesy Mac or Easy Mac or whatever you want to call it, has become Bega Mac. So there is some. It's good to see some Australian companies, but I think they still manufacture some of it overseas. This is what we got: Fruit Adventure. Funny name, an adventure. Why do they call it Fruit Adventure? As if that's what I mean. It's just this marketing shit. It's just for marketing, and basically they call it Fruit Adventure. But when I think of adventure, I don't just think of holidays or a safari. I actually think of stuff personal in my life, like the song by Pseudo Echo called Love and Adventure. That song I listened to heaps when I was 13, and I was just getting into photocopiers. And when I was 14, I started travelling to Chatswood to do some of my photocopier art. So from 1986 was when I heard that song by Pseudo Echo, and in 1987 that was when I started travelling to Chatswood to do some photocopier art, and I called it, and I said I was going on a photocopying adventure. I called my photocopying trips adventures. That looks interesting, but we have to make it more better centered. But I called these trips adventures, photocopying adventures. So when I hear the word adventure, that's pretty much what I think of, Pseudo Echo especially. And photocopying adventures I used to take when going to Chatswood, or places like Chatswood. So the word adventure has something in its heart. So I'm wondering if we're going to add to this adventure. It doesn't look as colourful as I was hoping it would be, but I think we're going to add some yellow. But yeah, I called my trips to various places adventures, my photocopying adventures. So it has a little personal meaning, even though it's a load of marketing bullshit. But I didn't eat this. I found this on the ground, and I thought it would be a good thing to use. But the picture looks really nice. I'm really happy, and even the fact that there's still some of the product, well, it's become liquid or semi-liquid, bit viscous liquid, as you can see, that pink stuff. Now we've almost got it in the middle, but we still have to do it better than that. So you can see that yellow goes well with the other colours, so I'm happy with that. I just have to move it across. I want it nicely positioned. I want this to be a really good little, nice little masterpiece of my work. So this will be like, but I don't typically go on photocopying adventures anymore. I'm sort of doing it from home, like on this machine. So I no longer take myself out on adventures. I've got my personal reasons why I don't. But let's see how this one turns out. But Fruit Adventure, that just sounds so silly. It just sounds so funny, but I relate to it. So maybe it's not such a bad thing, Fruit Adventure. It's not such a bad thing, even though it's a silly marketing con of a name. But I think we can call that quits. It's not perfectly in the middle, but I think the yellow makes it look good. I'm wondering if we're going to go any further, or maybe we can just call that quits. But I really like the label, the way the label looks now. It looks really nice. So I think maybe we can say that this adventure is over.